Hello everyone and welcome to Battle of the Beasts All Generation episode number 16. I am Adam and I got two more beasts here fighting for one more spot in round 2. However, we do have multiple spots left in round 2. However, one of these beasts, well, they're not going to get it. And so far, with the seasons that I have in my lap at the moment, we have, I'm just checking over my shoulder because that's where it is. One beast from the first one, so I'm going to... Yeah. Wow, really? Okay, we got one beast from each of these seasons already through to the next round. I have no idea if one of their teammates have already died or not. Okay, well, I know one of them hasn't. The other one hasn't either. Okay, so okay. Let's introduce them. Representing Series 8, the Pirate King, book number 4 is Torno, the Hurricane Dragon. And representing Series 11, the New Age, book number 2, Tarrok, the Blood Spike. Both of these beasts I'm not very fond of, and they're both actually the least favourite of their series that they're from. My least favourite of the series they're from. But that doesn't mean they're terrible, because I actually kind of like Torno. Tarrok, not as much, but he does have all right abilities. Now, these are also the second book from each of their series to fight in this tournament. Their predecessors, who's fought already in this tournament, Elko and Bloodboar, they've already made it. Which one will be joining their teammate and which one will be letting down their teammate? Well, I'm not really too sure. But what I do know is I'm the one that's going to need to kill one of them. So with that, Lucas Infus, I'm going to need some help here. Let's get to the stats.
Torno the Hurricane Dragon. The violent winds that blow through the northern mountains are caused by Torno, one of the beasts controlled by Senpeo the Pirate King. The Hurricane Dragon's foul breath is enough to blast his enemies through the air. Now, on to his stats. Flight, wind breath, sharp claws, thick scaly hair that can take attacks from Archer, enhanced strength to make Archer bleed, and of course agility, making one deadly opponent in the tournament.
Tarrok the Blood Spike, a dreadful beast created by the witch Kensa. Tarrok brings fear to the desert in the west of Henkral, flinging a hideous yellow sap that encases his victims in a ghastly cocoon. His muscular body has covered with cruel red spikes that can repel over the bravest of warriors. Now onto his stats. Spiked body, sand breath, wind breath, sandstorm generation, encasing sap that traps victims, burrows underground, camouflages deserts, and resistant to the heat, making one deadly opponent in the tournament.
3, 2, 1!
Battle! Let's get into this. Okay, now that we're back, so we're gonna do their weaknesses here. So with that, Torno's weakness is durability limits. So he does have a limit to his durability, which is good to an extent, and he is beatable. It's bad for him because then, well, he can be defeated. So the reason why it's called durability limits is that he was killed by a landslide after a ferocious battle against Tom, Alina, and Arcta. Now, moving on to Tarrok's weaknesses. His heart is protected by a weak flesh. So, he does have his spikes, as he's like a cactus, to actually defend him. But if that's gone, there's nothing protecting his heart. And if that's gone, he's dead. And another weakness is softening saps. That doesn't have anything to do with him. But the saps that he shoots or traps people in will soften and break apart when he's dead. So that doesn't really have anything to do with it. So technically, both of these beasts have one weakness. And I'm going to expose them. So, with that, I had too much fun saying that. So with that, the battlefield will be a desert-like arena. Now, you might think this is a bit unfair for Torno, but Torno is a dragon, and dragons are reptiles, cold-blooded animals, meaning they should be alright. He should be alright in a hot arena. Tarrok being a cactus, I don't need to explain that. So, as the chamber doors open, Tarrok is burrowing under... Can he burrow? Yeah. He's burrowing underground, just making sure he can't be seen. Just seeing a giant mound of sand as he goes, and just sticks one hand out in the shape of a cactus. So then people wouldn't expect anything. Torno flies out and sees nothing but sand and cacti everywhere. He's a bit confused at first, but after he realises that his opponent may be either a ghost or underground, he's starting to think, okay, that limits the options. So, if it's a ghost, then they shouldn't get affected by his wind breath, but if it's underground, well, they're going to be revealed. He sees a giant mound going from one chamber to the centre of the arena, so he's more on the underground side. So that he shoots out a gale force wind from his mouth, and that sends the sand flying, and using his wings he flaps them into a sandy tornado. To where, after it's cleared, the cactus that was in the middle has grown significantly, and Torno realises he's fighting Tarrok. Tarrok emerges from his sandy bed, let's say, and instantly attacks Torno by shooting air and sand breath from his mouth, creating a sandstorm going straight towards Torno. Torno tries to counter that by shooting wind from his mouth, just causing a giant sand cloud to appear in the middle. The sand is getting all up in Torno's eyes, but Torno's using his wings to flap as most of it as he can away. And whilst that's been done, Tarrok creates sap from his hands and throws them towards Torno, getting the joint between the wings and his body, to where he starts losing altitude and he crumbles down to the ground. Tarrok gets up towards Torno. Torno sees him, and Tarrok goes to bring his arm down on top of Torno. Torno is able to roll out of the way and get on his feet. And using his tail, he uses the sharp pointy end of it and stabs Tarrok directly in the shin, causing Tarrok to take a step back for now. And Torno uses his claws and slashes at another one of one of Tarrok's legs, causing a green sap to come out of his body, and a yellow sap to come out and stick to his body, making that area all sticky. Tarrok realizes his sap can be used to slow his opponents down, but can also be used to slow him down. In anger, he shoots out a sandstorm towards Torno, and using his fists, he slams his fist down on the ground, causing a giant uproar of sand to go after Torno. Torno, using all the strength he can, shrouds his wings to cover his eyes, and then when he can feel the sandstorm is over, he unfolds his wings and slashes towards Tarrok's chest. Tarrok took a step back just in case, and using his fist, he grabs onto one of Torno's claws and just twists his arm backwards, breaking his arm entirely. And using his other fist, he smashes it down on Torno's head, smashing his head in the dirt, in the sand, getting sand all in his eyes and everywhere. Torno's able to gets back up, limping now, seeing Tarrok getting more yellow sap ready to fire, and fires it at Torno's feet, trapping him into the ground. Torno now can't move anywhere. Tarrok builds up a sandstorm and blows it onto Torno. Torno, being unable to move, just tries to shroud his wings, but Tarrok already sees that and unfolds Torno's wings for him, getting sand all in his eyes and mouth and everywhere. Torno, in extreme discomfort, very weak, and just wants the suffering to end, realises he has one secret weapon left that Tarrok didn't take into account. Tarrok is about to go for the finishing blow by grabbing onto Torno's neck and starts strangling him. With his last breath, Torno lifts his tail up and using the spear-tipped end, he stabs it right at Tarrok's heart. Ignoring all the spiky cacti points that inflicts in Torno, he's ignoring that and pushes his tail deep inside of Tarrok's body to where it spears right through his heart and brings the heart outside through the back of his body with his tail. Tarrok gave the look of surprise and his grip loosened almost instantly. Torno feels the sap that's around his wings and feet start to loosen and he breaks free. And he brings his tail back through Tarrok, and Tarrok's lifeless body just standing there, just collapsed down onto the ground. Torno, using his claws, grabs onto Tarrok's heart and pulls it off his tail. And what he does with it, he crushes it in his own claws and makes the juices of the blood of the heart and just sprinkles it all over Tarrok's dead body as his body starts sinking into the sand. So with that, Torno has won, Tarrok has lost. Now, if you think Tarrok should have won, please leave in the comments below why you think that. However, Torno has won for me. Now, I will say, this was a relatively close battle, because I could honestly see either one of these beasts winning. But I gave the victory to Torno because at the end of the day, he did have the flight advantage. And with his tail as well, he has like an extra limb that he can use to attack his opponents. Considering Tarrok's personality is more of an angry, Hulk smash kind of thing, Torno's more of a, well, it's just an angry beast, I would argue, is more cunning. So, and because of Torno's age, he has more experience fighting than Tarrok does. Because Tarrok's only 0 years old, whereas Torno is well over 200, I think. So Torno actually does have experience fighting, and I'm sure he would have realised that his tail can be used as a spear. So with that, that's all for this time. If you like what you saw, leave a like, leave a comment, don't forget to subscribe, press the notification bell down in the corner below, and I'll see you next time.